Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaho Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namaste Saraswati Gauravani Charine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshakari Namaste Saraswati Gauravani Charine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshakari Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Hare What are their names?
He's Shashwat.
Shashwat. Good kirtan leader. And? Shrishti. She's also good. Very nice. Shashvat and Shishti. First, I offer my respectful obeisances to His Vaisesika Swami Prabhupada and to all the devotees who are assembled here today. You're all Vaishnavas, and therefore you're the most fortunate and worshipable living entities in the universe. Hare Krishna. Now, this space here is open. It's a lot easier if some of you move into the space, because that way you don't have to look all the way back there. It's better closer anyway, if you can move up closer. Upanishad means to sit up close. Did you bring a dictionary? Okay, you're ready, right? Move up closer, everyone. Hare Krishna. Hey, I've been trying to get in touch with you. Better late than never. Hare Krishna. Come up here. Everyone move forward. Move forward 3 feet. You have to sit at the back. Closer is better.
もっと近く寄ってくださいね、皆さん。近い方がいいですよ。近く来てください。
So, we're taking up where we left off yesterday.
昨日のね、残りをしますけど、続きを。
And what did we learn yesterday? What are some of the
何学びました？昨日のポイントは何ですか？はい、誰か。学びましたポイントは。
Failure is a pillar to success.
まあ、負けること、失敗することも成功のもとになる。
Okay, who else has a point?
I live to be corrected.
I live to be corrected. Did you do your homework and try it out on anybody?
宿題しましたか？
First, I need to try on.
Yeah.
自分自身ね、しなきゃいけないから。
Okay, what else did you hear yesterday? What do you remember?
昨日何か思い出していることありますか？
Everything belongs to Krishna.
Everything belongs to Krishna.
すべてがクリシュナにね、依存しています。
Isavasya vidam sarvam. Prabhupada calls it the Isavasya spirit. Remember that Krishna is the controller and the owner of everything.
クリシュナはね、支配者ですね、友達です。すべてなんですよ。
What else? Akshita?
Price of freedom is
Vigilance, yes. Very good. Nice.
素晴らしいですね。
And who said that? Who quoted it? Who's that a quote from? Do you remember? Actually, I'm the one who messed you up on that. It was Benjamin Franklin. I said Thomas Jefferson and changed it. Very good. Good memory. It was Benjamin Franklin
ベンジャミン・フランクリンがね、言った言葉です。
who started the first volunteer fire department. So he had to know about eternal vigilance and fire. What else did we hear?
We learned about sadhana with strictness and seriousness and sincerity.
That's right. Strict, serious, and sincere.
ただ
If you ever get a tattoo, you can put that on your arm. But then you won't be able to go to the own side. Yes. What's that?
Remember where you came from?
Remember where you came
ど
from.
こから来たのかって覚え
In
て
your case, it's pretty nice to remember.
あなたすごい覚えてますよねって。
What else?
他に何か
Attitude is everything.
Attitude is everything. And
動
Prabhupada
機はすべてですね。
wrote in the Nectar of Instruction about how our attitude will depend on our advancement will depend on our attitude. Yeah.
どういう態度かっていうので、発達がね、決められます。
We also discussed how attitude is malleable. You can change it. You can adjust your attitude.
その態度っていうのもね、変えられますよって。
So that means that we can put ourselves in a position to make advancement just by adjusting our attitude.
そう態度をね、態度を変えれば自分たちも発達してくるように変えられますよ。
What did we learn about Maya?
マーヤについて何学びました？幻想について。
What does Maya mean?
マーヤっていうのはどういう意味ですか？
That which is not. But somebody who wrote in on Facebook yesterday said Maya means illusion.
マーヤっていうのは幻想だって言ってました。
So what are the ways in which Maya sneaks into our house?
どうやって家に入ってくるの？ 幻想。
Pride. Pride opens the door.
Laxity.
And laxity invites her to come in. And what allows her to stay permanently?
Justification.
Justification. You're sharp as a tack, aren't
す
you?
ごいねって。
Okay,
頭
very good. Yeah. And that has a lot to do with attitude. If we have a prideful attitude, if we develop laxity, if we justify, then Maya can hang around indefinitely in our lives.
まあ態度を変えてね、間違いを正しくことをすればね、マーヤっていうのも去っていく。
Let's do 3 more things. See if we remember 3 more.
3つのことです。
Sadhana should be strict, sincere,
真剣で、厳格で。
Serious, strict, serious, and sincere. That's right.
真剣で厳格で、誠実。
And Prabhupada mentions these various attitudes in various places, but when you put them all together, it makes a nice little mantra, strict, serious, and sincere.
その3つのことね、一緒にすれば、もっとその態度が良くなる。
2 more things. Yes,
It's better to be awake than fall down.
that's right. Stay awake. And, there's a point about it's easier to stay in good physical shape than it is to get into physical shape. Have you ever noticed that? Sometimes people try to get into shape and it takes a long time, but if you just stay in shape, in good physical condition, it's easier to maintain.
だからね、そこの正しい位置に行くのが難しいけど、ずっとその位置にいたら簡単なことなんですよね。
In a similar way, it's easier to stay in good physical standing and consciousness than it is to start and stop and then try to make comebacks.
だからそういうね、意識で行ったり来たりしてますけど、そうやってね、続ければ良くなるって。
Can we get one more? Anything you remember?
Relationships.
That's right. We talked about relationships, and what about them?
そうですね。関係
Yeah, we talked about how relationships are important and how Rupa Goswami mentions them in the Nectar of Instruction.
ルーパーゴサミやネクターブディゴーシャンで言ってますけどね、
Nectar
ど
of
のような
Instruction.
関係を持つかってね、ディボーティ同士の関係とか。
And if we develop really close devotee relationships, then we'll feel satisfied.
まあ、献身者とね、すごい親密な、ね、関係を保つことで、本当に満足を得ることができます。
And association with devotees is the root cause of advancement in devotion.
献身者のね、交際というのがね、精神生活に発達する上でのルートなんですから。
And association with people who are very optimistic about the material world is the root cause of becoming entangled.
物質世界にね、もう独行になってきた人はもうすごいもう大変な生活になってきます。
Okay, so let's look at a few lessons.
少しレッスンしましょうね。
The Bhagavatam is full of lessons.
バーガータはすごいたくさんのレッスン
I've just picked a few today and we'll go through them briefly just to connect to some of the great personalities who have taught us these great lessons.
偉大なね、聖者のことのお話ししましょう。
So Bharat Maharaj was a great king.
バーガータマハラジはすごい偉大な王様でした。
He left his kingdom and family when he was kind of young.
まあ、若い時にね、その王国を離れたんですよ。
And he went off to the forest and was performing devotional service and was very regulated in chanting his mantras.
もうね、若い時にその森の中に入ってね、精神生活をね、チャンティングとかそういうことをしてね、修行しました。
He's very strict and
すごい厳格で。
then one day,
ある日、
while he was sitting and doing his meditation,
瞑想してた時に、
he heard a lion roar.
なんかライオンの声がした。
And then he saw a pregnant deer
鹿がね、可愛い鹿が。
who was frightened jump across the river.
川をね、渡ろうと、もう飛び越えろうとしてたわけです。
And she miscarried, and the little baby fawn came out of her womb.
それは飛び込もうとしたから、その時にね、自分の子供がですね、ボロッとか出ちゃったわけですよ。
And the mother deer was so shocked
それ
that
お
she
母さん
died.
ショックでね、もうそれ出ちゃって、もう死んじゃったわけですよ、子供が。
And the little baby deer was there helplessly, helpless without a mother.
その赤ちゃんはもうね、ね、ヘルプレス、もうね、救いようがないっていう感じでした。
So Bharat Maharaj went and picked up that little deer and brought it back to his ashram.
それで、そのね、赤ちゃんをもうね、もうどうしようもないって、お母さん亡くしてどうしようもないっていう感じだったから、バーダマージがそれを引き取った。
Akshita, what does an ashram mean?
A place where there's no shram.
Yeah, what's shrama?
Hard labor, no result.
Very good. Okay, so he started taking care of the deer.
それでね、可愛い赤ちゃんをね、育てようとした。
And he became attached.
すごいね、執着しちゃったわけです。
And then he was faking his meditation.
だから、瞑想がね、ちょっと真剣じゃなくなっちゃった。
He was no longer thinking of Krishna, he was thinking about the deer.
そう、クリシュナのこと思わないで、鹿のことばっかり思っちゃったんですよ。
So when he died, and you see this picture, this shows how he was thinking of the deer when he passed away.
だからこのバーラタマージが死のうとしてるときにですね、ああやってね、鹿のことを思い浮かべちゃったわけですよ。
Arush, what happened when he was thought of the deer at the time of death? What happened to Bharat Maharaj? In the next life, where did he go? Oh,
死ぬときにね、鹿のことを思ったら、次の来世で鹿になっちゃうんですよ。
Okay, so Arush told us what happened. He thought of the deer at time of death. And do any of the kids know a verse from the Bhagavad Gita that tells why that happens?
バーガギーターでこのことについてね、言ってるバースを覚えてるの知ってますか？子供たち。
I'll give you a clue. It's in the 8th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, and it starts with the sound you make when you like the prasad very much.
8章でね、ヒントは。
When you like prasad very much,
プラサーダが好きな。
it tastes really good. What do you say? Yum yum.
Yum yum.
Yum yum vapi smaran vavam tachatyante kalevaram tam tami vaitikam teyasada tatpava bhavita. So Krishna says in this verse, whatever you think of at the time of death, you'll attain.
死の時に何を考えようとそれをね、到達するってクリシュナが言っています。
So that was quite a slip up because he was nearing perfection, but then he got distracted.
だからすっごいもうほとんど完成にね行ってたのに、もう最後の一瞬でちょっとね、他の方行っちゃったわけです。
So these are some of the points that Prabhupada makes in his commentary on this story.
ね、このストーリーからプラパダがおっしゃったポイントを言います。
He said his fall down was due to foolishness.
彼はちょっと愚か者だからそんなになっちゃったんだ。
And he also said it was misplaced compassion.
だから憐れみを抱くのが間違った方向に憐れみをしている。
And willful neglect of sadhana.
サダナをちょっとね怠りましたってこと。
These are pretty heavy charges.
これはすごいねヘビーなことなんですよ、重いこと。
But it shows, the example of Bharat Maharaj shows that you can be very solidly engaged in devotional service and then get distracted.
だからすっごい集中してねやってたのにですよ、修行を。それがパッってなんかもう違う方にね集中しちゃったわけですよ。
So it adds new meaning to our practice.
だから私たちの練習においても。
That is the example of Bharat Maharaj.
これはバーダマラジのね例をとって言われてるんです。
Teaches us that we shouldn't develop a foolish attitude.
私たちも愚かなね活動するわけにはいきません。
Or neglect our sadhana.
サダナをちょっとねしないと。
Don't think it's okay. I can chant 15 rounds or I can chant 15 and a half.
私も15週ねちょっと短時間でできるしとか。
Or I don't have to go to the programs. I can do something else instead.
プログラム行かなくていいし、他のことできるし。
This is a kind of foolishness.
これはちょっとね、愚かなことです。
And also, we should have a clear understanding of where we should place our emotions.
だから、私たちの感情をどこに置くかっていうのをね、重要視しないといけないです。
Becoming attached to living entities in this world.
この世界の生命体に
who are just passing through.
それを通して
Yeah, the living entities that, one might become attached to,
その
they're
ね、
just passing through life just like we are.
私たちみたいに、その普通の人もみんな死んでいきます。
Might think, oh, I have to save this bird, or I have to save.
この鳥を私は救わなきゃいけないとか。
But living entities are in the grips of nature themselves.
まあその生命体はみんなね、あれに沿って生きてるわけですよ。
There's a story in the Srimad Bhagavatam,
シーマバー
7th
タン
canto,
セブンカントで。
about how the Kalinga birds, there were two Kalinga birds, a mother and a father,
お母さんとお父さんのクリングバーって何？
and they went out one day looking for food to bring back to their babies.
お母さんがね、赤ちゃんにね、ほら、食べ物を渡しに来たわけです。
And they came back and they found out that a hunter had put a net over the nest and all the babies were caught in the net.
だからね、ハンターがネットでね、その赤ちゃんたちを捕まえちゃったわけです。
So then the mother Kalinga bird flew into the net. She was caught also.
だからお母さんもその子供を助けようと思って近づいたら自分もね、網の中入っちゃった。
Then the father Kalinga bird was standing there and crying because he had lost.
お父さんがね、外見て泣いてるわけですよ。
And the hunter took an opportunity to shoot an arrow to him.
ほんならもうそのハンターがね、その泣いてるからお父さんがピーンってね、殺しちゃったんです。
It's a very dire kind of story, very severe kind
な
of
んかす
story.
ごいね、ストーリーですよね、これね。
But the Bhagavatam tells us these stories so that we'll avoid this idea of misplaced compassion.
だから、あれにはどこに置くかっていうのでね、その間違った方向に置いちゃうとこんなになっちゃうわけですよ。この家族みたいに。
It doesn't mean that we become cold or indifferent to our family members,
もちろんね、その家族に冷たく当たれっていう意味じゃないんですよ。
or that we don't help animals.
もう動物をね、助けなくていいよっていう意味でもないんです。
But it means we keep our perspective.
でも私たちはそのあれを
Be very careful not to misplace our compassion.
だから間違った方向であれ見をしたらいけないってことです。
In living entities who are under the control of material nature.
物質のね、自然に沿って生命体は生きてるわけですよ。
And whom we can't save anyway.
だから誰がね、私たち救えるんでしょうかね。
And Ajamil is another
アジャミラも
lesson.
他のね、教えがあります。
He was a young Brahmin who was performing his duties very nicely.
すごい若いね、ブラーマンってね、すごいナイスにね、修行してました。
And one day when he was walking through his town, he saw a young, very low-class couple that were embracing in public.
街に行った時にね、すごい若いロークラスの若いカップルがすごいお互いに抱きしめていたわけです。
And his mind became attracted, and he couldn't get that scene out of his head.
心がね、もうそれに魅了されてて、もう離れなくなっちゃったわけです。
And he soon gave up his practice.
だからそしてその修行を自分のしている修行をね、もうやめちゃったんですよ。
In fact, he went and found that woman, and he married her. Not married her, he gave up his wife, but
自分結婚してたんだけど、それ奥さんに辞めて、その魅了されてた女の人のとこ行っちゃったわけです。
the low-class woman moved in with him, and he began to have children by her.
ほんでもうそのね、ちょっとロークラスな女の人に魅了されたから、その人とね、子供を産んできちゃったわけですよ。
Excuse me. At the time of death,
ほんで死の時に、
he called the name of his son.
ほんでその子供がね、いたんですけど、その子供の名前を呼んだわけです。
What was his son's name?
さんの名前は。
Narayan.
ナラヤンですね。
And he helplessly called out the name.
もう救いようがないようにね、助けを求めるように名前を言うんです。ナラヤンって。
And because he had chanted the name of God, he was saved.
だから子供の名前を呼んだんですけど、神の名前を呼んだから救われたんです。
Now there's a lot of reasons given in this chapter why he fell away.
これでもね、教えがあるわけですよ。
One is called accidental exposure.
エクセレントレクション。
Yes, it means he's walking around the world, and you might see all kinds of different degraded kinds of scenes.
まあね、世界を見てたらもういろんなね、落ちぶれたこととかいろいろ見えますよね。
So you have to fortify yourself.
自分自身をちょっとしっかり持たなきゃいけないんです。
I was telling the group the other night at our program that don't leave your house without chanting some of the Bhagavad Gita.
家のね、外はチャンティング バーダンのね、説とかスタンディングしないで出るべきではありません。
doing your chanting,
チャンティングしてるとき、
chanting Hare Krishna.
チャンティングハレクシナをね、忘れないで出てくだ
Because
さ
the
い。
world is full of all kinds of scenes, and unless you've spiritualized your consciousness, they can affect you.
だからこの世界いっぱいね、迷うものがあるから、それ影響されちゃいますよ。
And Prabhupada says his fall down was also because of weakness of heart.
彼がね、ちょっとホールダウンした、ダークしたのも、心が弱いから、ね。
This means the tendency to become attached to temporary things.
もう一時的なものにすごいね、魅了されるっていうのがあるわけです。
And then finally, because of bad association.
すごい悪いね、交際が来たから。
So these are areas that one should be aware of.
これから目覚めなきゃいけないんです。
And then there's Indra.
インドラの話。
He also had a fall down.
この人もちょっと堕落したんですけど。
And his came when he was sitting in an assembly of being worshipped by many other demigods.
たくさんのね、半身をちょっと崇拝してたわけです。
And his spiritual master, Brihaspati,
ブリハスパティという精神指導者が
came into the assembly.
その中にね、来て、
And Indra was enjoying being worshipped so much that he didn't get off his seat and offer his respects to his guru.
だからね、もう集中しても半身をね、崇拝ばっかりしてたからですね、精神指導者が来たことも忘れて、もうね、無視して、ペイオベースにするの忘れてました。
So his guru immediately walked out and disappeared.
ほんで、グルはもうすぐもうどっか行っちゃってね。
And Indra lost all his opulence.
ほんで、インドラがもうすべてのね、豪華さをなくしちゃったんです。
So in this chapter, it's mentioned that it was because of his pride.
プライド、ね、誇りが高く思ってる。
What did we talk about yesterday?
昨日なんか話しましたよね。
That one should wear around one's neck as a necklace.
このネックレスをつけてる話です。
Krishna.
クリナ
Who
ー
said? Oh yeah, Akshita. You got it. You're good. Trinad api sunichena. Choror iva sahishnina amanina kirtanina. Yes, you have to maintain this humility.
謙虚さをキープしなきゃいけない。
Don't become full of yourself.
自分自身、自己中心になるべきではありません。
And also be careful about honoring a spiritual master.
精神指導者にオフェンスになるべきではありません。
This is the third offense in the holy name.
これはね、10の献身、オフェンスの中の3つのことです。
To disobey the orders of the spiritual master, consider the spiritual master an ordinary person.
精神指導者をね、普通の人と扱ってね、すごい尊敬をしなくなる。
The spiritual master is a post and it's also a person.
スピリチュアルマスターはポスト、人格を持っている人です。
And one should realize that post is the guru is acting as a representative of Krishna.
グルはクリシュナの媒体となってくださっているものです。代表者です。
Postmen may come to your door here.
ポストマンがね、ここに来るように。
He wears a government uniform.
政府のね、服着てますよね。
You might know him. He might live 2 blocks away from you.
なんか見えないかもしれないけど。
But when he's wearing the government uniform,
政府のね、服着てたら、
he's in a special position.
彼は特別な位置を示している。
If you were to bump in or intentionally hit him or something like that, that would be a federal offense.
だから、その人になんか、バーンとかね、なんかひどい態度取ったら、すごいオフェンスになります。
So these are a few samples. There are many, many stories in the Bhagavatam that talk about the ways in which we have to be careful in this world.
この世界でね、すごい注意深いことするのにね、たくさんのね、ストーリーが、レッスンがありますね。
Just a quick review. Bharat Maharaj.
バーラタマラージは、
Foolishness.
フーリッシュネス、愚か者、
Misplaced compassion.
憐れみを間違える、
Willful neglect of sadhana.
サダナをね、ちょっとしな
Ajamya.
アジャミラ、
Accidental exposure.
アクシデンタルエクスポージャー、
Weakness of heart.
ハートが弱い、
Bad association.
悪い交際、
Indra.
インドラは
Pride.
誇り高く思う。
offense to spiritual
精
men.
神症者にオフェンスをする。
Savarmuni,
座りムニは、
who did he offend?
彼は誰にオフェンスしました？
You remember? Garuda.
ガルダ。
Garuda is a great Vaishnava.
ガルダもね、偉大な天使者
Savarmuni
です。
offended Garuda, and he ended up falling down from his exalted position.
いやね、ガルダっていうバイシュナムにオフェンスしたからすごい位置がね、下がったんです。
Now let's talk about how to make a comeback. If
そ
you
れをどうやって戻すかっていうのを考えましょう。
failure is the pillar to success.
まあ失敗も成功のもとだってことですよ。
So don't go away.
まあ、去らないでください。
No matter what happens, you stay in devotional
どんな
service.
ことがあろうと、献身奉仕にいてください。
This is mentioned in several places in the Srimad Bhagavatam. This Swapanamulam Vajita Priyasya Tyaktam Yabhavesha Hare Priyeshaha Vikarmyachot Patitam Katanchit Tunoti Sarvam Pradisanivishaha. This verse from the Bhagavatam says that if you have a fall down from your devotional
まあ、献
service,
身奉仕からね、堕落したら、
the prescription is to go on with your practice of devotional service.
あ
Pick
なた
yourself
の
up, brush yourself up, and just keep going.
献身奉仕をずっとやり続ける。
The reason is Krishna has entered the heart
ク
of
リ
the
スナが
devotee.
ハートの中に、リボーティのハートの中にいるから。
He knows your intention,
あなたのインテンションを分かってる。
and he will purify you if
あ
you
な
keep
たを
going.
純粋化してくれます。浄化してくれます。
And the other one is to own the problem.
問題を、自分自身の問題。
Means that one should be careful not to blame others.
他のね、人をけなさないでください。
Take responsibility. Say it's my fault. It's
自
not.
分の間違いだから。
Who might one blame for one's difficulties?
間違いは誰のせいにしますかって。
Who could we blame it on?
誰のせい
Besides
にします
ourselves.
自分自身の、
You can say Krishna made me do it.
まあ、クリスチャンがやってんだってね、人のせいにします。
Everything is of Krishna.
Yeah, really,
Good or
Krishna, so he made me.
Yeah.
Yeah, people do that all the time. God's ruthlessly punishing
まあ、
everybody.
みんなね、もう神様があれしたからこんなになったんじゃないとかね、いうふうに神様のせいにします。
Who else can you blame?
他に誰を責めます？自分じゃなくて。
Yes? Situation.
そういう条件ね、こうだからこうなるとかっていう。
Yeah.
Other devotees.
Other devotees.
他
They
の
made
デボ
me
ー
do
ティ
it.
とか。
Temple president, GBC.
テンプルプレゼント GBC が悪いとか、
I mean, there's unlimited lists of people you can blame.
まあ、たくさんね、他の人をね、評価してね、悪い方向に言いますね。
But we discussed in one of the classes that Lord Brahma says, Tate anukampam susamikshmanu bunjana eva akritam vivakam. Bunjana eva akritam vivakam. Whatever kind of reactions we get in this world, whatever kind of difficulties we have, you take responsibility for it, and this is the attitude that allows you to go back to God.
なんかいろいろね、問題とかね、いろんなこと起こりますよね、自分に。でもそれを自分の責任として、ね、受け取ることで発展ができます。
And to chant constantly.
そうか、チャンティングをね、いつも唱えて。
Prabhupada mentions this in the Gita.
プラパダがメンション、ギータで言ってます。
This is in the 9th chapter of 30th verse.
9章の38、
30th, 30, Sanju. So this verse says, Shri Prabhavati Dharma Shashva Chantanagashti Kaunteya Pratijanihi Nami Bhakti Pranashiti. That, where's that 31? Can I have a Gita, please? In any case, in this verse, Krishna says that, it's far end on the left, Hidadigawa. Right? Next one. There it is. He said that the devotee will be successful if he continues to practice devotional service.
献身奉仕を続けてやればね、
30?
献身奉仕を続けてやれば成功します。
Okay, so 9:30 is the verse I just quoted. No, it's 31. Shri Prabhavati Dharma Shashvat Shantam Nigad. He quickly becomes righteous and attains lasting peace. O son of Kunti, declare boldly that my devotee never perishes. And so Prabhupada says that if one has a difficulty,
もし問題があったら自分に。
he should go on chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, without stoppage.
唱えてください。
Without stopping, continue to chant.
続けてね、唱えてください。
And by that process, one will become rectified.
そうすることによって正しいことに。
Of course, one should not think that because I can go on chanting without stoppage and be rectified, that I can sin again and again. You shouldn't try to sin on the strength of chanting Hare Krishna. Yeah, it means that if I develop the attitude that because I can become purified by chanting Hare Krishna, that it's okay to do whatever I want.
ね、これチャンティングしてたら、これで純粋になるんだから、まあ何でもいいやっていう感じでやるのは良くない。
That's an offense.
これもオフェンスです。
Krishna knows the difference.
クリシュナはその違いを知ってます。
If you make a mistake and you're sincere and you chant,
間違ってたらね、それをチャンティングしたら、
Krishna will help to rectify you.
まあ、それをしてやってたら、まあ、クリシュナが正してくれます。
Okay? And remember that discouragement is Maya's most effective tool.
ディスカレージメント。もうちょっとやりたくないとか、そういう態度だったらね、一番マヤがね、入りやすいわけです。
So, there's always, Krishna is always helping us.
クリシュナはいつもね、助けようとしてるんです。
So, we're not to become overly discouraged.
まあ、それに対して、もうダメだとかね、そういうふうにディスカレージするべきではありませんね。
This is one of the ways that Maya can keep us down.
まあ、それでマヤがね、そこから入っちゃうんですよ、そういう人に。
You should feel regret, but not depression.
なんか、ディプレッションに、ね、なる分、落ち込みばっかりしないでくださいって。
That means if something happens, you do something wrong,
な
you
んか
can
間
regret it,
違ったことあっても、
but don't get depressed.
まあ、落ち込まないでくださいって。
You'll still be victorious, Krishna says.
それでもね、あなたはね、勝利を得てますから。
Besides that, people who have some difficulty and they keep going, they become stronger than before.
すごいもう問題があってね、抱えて大変だと思ってても、それをね、続ければもっと強くなります。
Do you all study physiology?
フィジオロジー習いました？
Physiology.
フィジオロジーって何？
You know what happens if you break a bone in your body?
骨がね、折れたの知ってます？骨が折れた。
I'll tell you a secret. If you break a bone in your body, which I don't recommend, but if you do, and the bone gets set, it grows back 7 times stronger than it was before.
それ骨がね、治ったら、なんか7回以上も強くなるって？
It's nature's way. It's nature's way. Krishna's arrangement.
クリシュナのアレンジメントで、それがね、自然な方です。
And similarly, when you make a mistake in your practice,
練習してるって、間違いしたら、
and you rectify it, you reset the bone.
それでね、まあちょっと正しくそれしたら、
That becomes something that you never forget. You're always more careful around that
そ
point.
のことをすごい覚えてるから、もっと強くなるわけですよ。
So, here's a quote I liked from L.M. Montgomery. Isn't it nice? Would you read it out loud?
Isn't it nice to think that tomorrow is a new day with no mistakes in it yet?
Yeah. Isn't it nice to think that tomorrow is a new day with no mistakes in it yet? I'm just repeating because it goes in this microphone. Yes, remember that you have a new chance every day.
まあね、毎日新しいチャンスがありますよね。
So why we do sadhana every day?
だからそのようにサダナもやります。
Every day is a new chance.
いつも毎日ね、新しいチャンス。
And whatever you've done in the past, whatever mistakes you made in the past,
まあ、前にね、間違いいっぱいやってたとしても、
now's a chance to rectify it, start over.
またほら、次の時にね、次の日頑張ればいいやってやれ
It's
ばいい。
really nice to start over every day.
だから毎日毎日そうやってね、あ、また次の日もっていう感じでやればいいですよ。
And if you have the right attitude, then Krishna will help you start
す
over.
ごい正しいね、態度があれば、クリスナがヘルプしてくれます。
Here's another one from Albert Einstein.
アインシュタイン
Mark,
が
would you read that nice and loud, please?
Anyone who has never made a mistake has never tried anything new.
What do you think of that? Do you like it? Excuse me? Yeah. Do you have it? If you're not trying new things, you're not making mistakes.
だから新しいことに何もしなかったら、そういう人はもう何も間違いしてないですよ。
So it requires a little bit of courage to try things and be willing to make mistakes in order to progress.
だからね、もっと新しいことをね、トライしてみませんかっていう、そういう啓発を与えてあげてるっていう。
Yeah. Okay. Now, here's a quote from the Light of the Bhagavad. Light of the Bhagavad.
ライトバーダンの説で、
Devotional service to the Lord never goes in vain.
献身報酬は、主への献身報酬は決してベインにならない。
Just at the right moment,
正しい時に、ちょうどいい時に。
the result of one's particular devotional service
なんか正しい、パティキュラー、ディボーショ
in
ン
vain means it's wasted.
Ah.
Devotional service is never wasted.
で、献身奉仕は絶対にね、無駄じゃない。
The Prabhu writes, just at the right moment,
まあ、ちょうどいい時に、
the result of one's particular devotional service.
そしたらちょうどいい時に、いい結果になる。
Now listen to this. Will come
そういう時が来ます。
even if one has no desire for it.
そういう望みがね、たとえない人でもそういう時が来ます。
What do you think of that?
すごいね。
What do you think of that? No, I'm stuck.
あなた、どう
Did
思
you
いますか？
understand?
どう思いますか？そう思いますって？ I think so also.
Yes. So there's a way in which devotional service has its own power, its own force.
だから、献身奉仕自身がパワーがあるわけです。
It's coming from a higher source.
まあ、高いね、ところからその力があるわけです。
It's more powerful than our mistakes.
だから私たちの間違いよりももっとパワフルなんです。
So if you just keep going,
だからもう続ければいいわけです。
no matter how bad at it you think you are,
何も間違いとか何だけだらけでも。
it will come even if you don't have a desire.
あなた自身が望みなくてもそういう時が来るんですよ。
It will come even if you don't have a desire.
すごい。
Okay, and then Prabhupada writes down here, for the strict follower,
すごい厳格にね、従ってる人は、
the result
その結果は
is sure and certain.
もう確かに来る。
And when the time is right,
もうその時がね、正しければ、
the result will come of its own force.
その力、自分自身の力でやってくる。
So this is it's devotional service is from Krishna's internal potency.
で、献身奉仕はクリスナの内的なパワーです。
It's very powerful.
すごいパワフルなものです。
Any comments about that? Or thoughts? Any reaction to that point? How did it make you feel?
I feel very good because sometimes I recognize some bad qualities in me and
Yeah.
I feel very frustrated and depressed also. But this thing is very encouraging. Means if I will go on, whatever is there inside me, if I will go on, then Krishna will help.
Yes.
私も時々ね、すごいもう私の質が良くないなとかね、もうすごい落ち込んだりするんですけど、この説聞いたらね、あ、これでも私でもできるんだっていうね、ホープが湧いてきて、もう力づけられるって。
Actually, this light of the Bhagavad,
このライトバータンは、
this number 43, the example that's given here is that when a woman becomes pregnant,
お母さんがほら妊娠した時に、
the baby's going to come out sooner or later.
子供がね、後から先でも生まれるでしょ。
So when you contact devotional service, it starts growing.
まあその返信をしてね、コンタクトしたらそれが育っていく。
And whether you like it or not, it's coming out.
まあだから好きでも嫌いでもね、もうとにかく出るでしょ。子供が生まれてくるわけです。
So then also, this is from the 11th canto. The servants of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu need not fear.
サーバントはね、チェイタネマハプロのサーバントは恐れを抱いてはいけません。
Okay, so here, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur makes a comment. You see the Sanskrit verse here? This is in Sanskrit.
そこサンスクリットですけど、
This is his commentary to a verse in the Bhagavatam.
バータンの説明です。
The verse in the Bhagavatam is about Lord Chaitanya.
バータンはロチェタの。
It says, Tirtasparam Shiva Virinchinutam Shuranyam Vidyartiham Kamajapapapapatipotam. It says that Lord Chaitanya his lotus feet are like a boat that can take you across the ocean of Kali Yuga.
カリユガのね、海を渡ることができます。チェイタナマハプロの。
So this comment is in relation to that. He said, in this age,
この時代で、
the world is so polluted by sinful life.
まあ、この世界はね、もう罪深いことで汚されてます。
That it's very difficult to become free from all of the symptoms of Kali Yuga.
カリユガのね、すべてのね、シンプトムからね、脱するのはすごい難しいことです。
Still, one who is faithfully serving
でも、すごい信念を持ってね、奉仕すると、
in the missionary work of Chaitanya
チェイタナマ
Mahaprabhu
ハプロの使命を持ってね、真剣にサービスすれば、
need not fear occasional,
そうすると恐れを抱かなくてもいい。
unavoidable
unavoidable
symptoms
symptom
of Kali Yuga.
カリユガのね、そういう兆候っていうのをね、恐れなくてもいい。
What are the symptoms? Occasional and right. Occasional and unavoidable. So, the followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu
チェイタナのフォロワーは
strictly follow the four regulative
4
principles.
つのね、原則を、守って
No illicit sex, no intoxication, no meeting, and no gambling.
投資物とかそういうのをしないってこと、4つのこと。ギャンブリングとか、eat meat とか。
They try to always chant Hare Krishna and engage in the service of the Lord.
主にすごく奉仕をする。
However,
それでも、
it may happen
まあ、ちょっとしたことが起こります。
that by accident, an occasional symptom of Kali Yuga
自己的にそういうね、カリユガの兆候が現れて、
such as envy,
妬
anger,
み、怒り、
lust, greed,
貪欲とか、
etc.,
なんかいろんなことをね、
may momentarily appear in the life of the devotee.
ディボーティーのとこにね、現れますよね、そういう兆候も。
But if such a devotee
でも、そういうディボーティーは、
is surrendered at the lotus feet of Chaitanya
チェイタ
Mahaprabhu,
ナマ部分に服従して、
by his mercy, such an unwanted symptom or anartha will quickly disappear.
彼の慈悲によって、そういうね、アナルタとかそういうものが、ディサピア、去っていきます。
Therefore, a sincere follower
だから、真剣な 従者は、
of the Lord
主の従者は、
should never be discouraged
だから決して落ち込まないでくださ
in
い。
the execution of his prescribed duty,
その義務を遂
but
行
should
する
be
こと。
confident that he will be protected by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
もうチェーターのように本当にね、保護してくれています。
Did you get all that?
まあ、
Yes? What did it say?
レギュレーションをしてて、sometimes, あれ、we effect about my, 下流が神とか、follow, not follow regulative principle like this, but still, Prabhu is very, kind by mercy, and we can get the mercy.
Yeah, if you're strictly engaged in devotional service and you're helping to spread the missionary work, because Kali Yuga is so pervasive, if there's a temporary, unavoidable situation that comes into your life, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will protect you.
時々ね、私らももうちょっとね、レギュレートしてないとかさ、いろいろありますよね。だけど、それでも続けてやっていることによって、チェータナイがね、慈悲をくださいます。
So, those are a few thoughts, and let's take a few reflections now. Anything that you heard so in the seminar tonight that stuck in your mind?
今ね、今日聞いてて、なんか自分の中で一番ね、残ったポイントありますか？
Yes, Prabhu.
Little bit confused about misplaced compassion. How we decide that we should have this or we should not have. We leave it to the nature or just follow. How to?
Rupa Goswami gives an example of a devotee walking along, and he sees that there's somebody drowning in the water, and then he has the choice of going in to save them, and he realizes that there's people watching from above on a bridge. So then he thinks if he doesn't go in and save them, then people will think really poorly of Vaishnavas, and so he helps the person out. And of course, devotees do have compassion for other living entities, but they also keep perspective that that everyone has their own karma to deal with.
みんなね、それぞれのね、カルマがあって、それにね、ちょっと従事しなきゃいけない時がありますけど、
Prahlad Maharaj says, Balasya neha sharanam pitarao nashingha nartasya chaganam dambati majato na. Tasya tat pratipidir yaihanja sheshtas tava bilo tanutam tvarupekshitanam. And that is that parents can't save their children, a doctor cannot save a patient, and a boat on water cannot save a drowning man.
両親は子供を救うことはできないし、娘は何
Unless the Lord sanctions it. So in the purport, Prabhupada said it doesn't mean that you shouldn't try to take medicine if you're sick.
病気だったらね、薬を飲まないでくだ
It
さい。
doesn't mean that parents shouldn't try to save their children.
その意味はお母さんたちがね、子供を救おうとしているわけじゃない。
Or that if you see somebody drowning in the water, you don't try to save them if you have the means to do so. But you should consider that it's only by the Lord's mercy that it can take place. Don't think that you're the big savior of everybody.
まあ、あなたが自分、人をね、救う唯一の人だと思わないで、もうクリシュナが救ってくれます。
Do you know about Ayurveda? Do you? What is it?
It's like a group or team that makes like different types of medicines.
Yeah, it's a part of the Vedas that teaches about how to extend your life. There's a lot of medicines there that you can take. Ayurveda.
アイルベーダね、たくさんのメディシンがあります。
There's a verse in the Ayurveda you're supposed to say before you take medicine. And that is that if the Lord doesn't sanction this, the medicine won't work anyway. Any other reflections? Yes? That's right. Very good. Did you like that one? That's why you remembered it? Nice. What else? Yeah.
What do you say?
he said that the servants of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu have nothing to fear. You should not fear because they're being protected by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What else? Reflections, anything you heard?
One should be careful not to do anything too negative for sadhana.
Yeah, don't willfully neglect your sadhana. Yeah, it's such a small price to pay, and if one gets a taste for sadhana, then one can easily finish it every day. It's not time, it's taste, because everyone gets the same 24 hours, so sometimes people say I don't have time. But that's not ultimately a valid excuse, because if you have a taste for something, then you will take it up, no matter what your other obligations are.
ね、皆さんほら、ね、自分がそれペースがあったらですよ、もうそんな時間がないとかね、そんなこと言わないわけですよ。ずっとしちゃうってね、チャンティングも。だから時間がないとか、みんな同じ時間なんだから、そういうふうなあれじゃないですよって。
In America, we get 24 hours.
ア
They
メリ
give
カは
us 24 hours a day.
24時間あるんです。
How many you get here in Japan?
日本はどれぐらいあります
You're saying?
同じじゃないですか。
Oh, okay.
同じですね。
Same thing. Pretty good.
じゃあいいじゃないですか。
Something anyway.
If you make a mistake, don't get discouraged. Learn from it and don't make the same mistake again.
Very good. Excellent. Yeah, learn from it and you get stronger, right? What example did I give? Yes. What about a bone?
When a bone breaks, it grows back 7 times stronger.
I said if a bone breaks and you set it properly, then it grows back 7 times stronger. I put that in there because there's a way in which if we have a slip up, then we should reset our attitude and reset our sadhana. When you reset it, then it grows back. If you have the wrong attitude about the fall down, you don't set it properly, it can be a major problem. And then you'll get stronger if you set it properly. Does that work for you? It's a good metaphor, right? Okay.
だから
日本語。
まあ間違えたらね、笑うことができるってね。だから骨が折れた時も直したらね、また何回もね、もっと強くなってね、できるように、本当同じようにいろんなね、間違った態度を持ってね、やってたとしても、それをまた正してやったらもっとね、強くなってできるってね。そういうふうに失敗してもそういうできる。
What else? Yes.
Every new day can be used for improving ourselves.
That's right. That's what every new day can be used to improve ourselves spiritually.
毎日毎日ね、私たち自分の人生ね、インプル見直すことができる。
You have to do sadhana every day.
毎日サダナして、
There's a famous violinist in Russia
ロシアでね、有名なことがあるんですけ
named Joshua Hebbets.
ど、ジャシュア・ヘビス。
And he said that if I don't practice,
私が練習しなきゃ、
I miss one day of practice.
もう一日でも練習を怠ると、私わかる。
If I miss 2 days of practice,
2日間ちょっとやらなかったら、
my teacher notices it.
まあ先生がそれを分かってる。
If I miss 3 days of
3
practice,
日サボけたら、
everybody notices
誰
it.
も分かるって。
So sadhana is a daily affair.
サダナが毎日のね、修練です。
It's meant to give us momentum so that we can practice 24 hours a day.
24時間ね、修練しましょう。
And we don't know how many days we have.
私たち何日ね、あるか分かりません。
Never have false expectations that I have forever to do this.
私もう一生やれるわなんてね、思うべきじゃないです。
Should think each day that we have, this is a very special day.
今日は特別な日だっていうふうに思う。
I may not get another opportunity
もう
to do this.
次の日はね、もうないんだっていうふうに思
I can't take it for granted.
う。もうそういうふうにね、期待したらダメです。
What else did you hear? Yes. Oh,
Don't offend the spiritual master.
don't offend the spiritual master.
精神症者にね、演出をしてはいけない。
Yes. It's important because the spiritual master is representative of Krishna.
クリシュナのね、代表者だから。
And that relationship is there to learn how to show respect to Krishna.
どうやってクリスナをね、崇拝するか、尊敬するかっていうのの練習ですから。
So, said the spiritual master is like a fire.
だから精神創者っていうのは火と同じ。
If you get too close, you'll get burned.
あんまり近く寄るともう焼けちゃう。
But if you stay too far away, also, if you get all scared and you don't get close enough, you won't get the heat.
怖がってね、あんまりにも遠づくと、なんかね、何も熱がもらえない。
So there's two aspects. And one of them is there's some reverence there.
まあ、そのレフレンね、あって。
And Rupa Goswami said there should also be a friendly relationship at the same time.
まあ、同じに尊敬もあるけど、同時にフレンドリーな
So
関係。
balancing those two
そ
things
れが2つのことをバランス取らなきゃい
is
けない。
like dealing with fire.
まあ、それは火とね、交際するみたいなもんです。
Not too far, not too close.
あんまりも近づいてもダメし、あんまりに遠すぎてもダメです。
And remember, if you neglect it or if you misuse it, the fire can cause havoc.
悪い方向に使ったりとかね、ね、したら良くない。
Yeah, very good. What else?
Even if you make any mistake, you can feel guilty but not
Depressed.
depressed.
You can regret,
Yeah.
but don't become
落ち込まないで。
chronically depressed.
まあ、失敗しても落ち込まないでくださいって。
Because that's a sign of Maya also.
これもマヤの一つなんですよ、幻想。
Because nobody's permanently unqualified.
まあ、誰も資格ないんですから、
And if you say, because of my mistake, I'm now permanently unqualified, you're wrong.
私はもう間違ってるから、もう私はちょっと資格ないわとか
You can always make a comeback.
言って。でも、いつもね、帰ってくることはできるんです。
Even Valmiki Muni
貿易無
had been
に
a hunter.
ハンターで、
And he was so down that when he met Narada Muni, he said, I can't even say God's name.
もうナラダムと会った時に、私はもう神の名前さえ言えません。
But he made a big comeback.
でも、そうやって帰ってきたことはなんですね。
Always possible.
だから、いつも可能なんです。
Two more.
他で、なんか、
Yes.
Learn from the lessons
Yes.
of the mistakes anyone has done or any good things anyone has done.
Yeah, and especially learn from the mistakes, the good things and the bad things.
間違いからいろんなことを学んだりすることができます。
You can learn a lot from the Bhagavatam.
バーダンでもたくさんのことが学べます。
Bhagavatam is stories that are relatable to our own lives.
バーダンは私たちのね、人生に関わってる
The
んです。
things that we worry about all the time are addressed in the Bhagavatam.
まあ、なんか、バーダンでドレス。
And so if you hear Bhagavatam regularly,
バーダンを毎日聞けば、
it will help you to deal with all of the situations that
だ
you
からあなたの今の状況とかにたくさんね、助けてくれるんですよ。
personally come in contact with in this world.
自分の個人的なことにね、すごい関係してくるわけです。
Let's see, I'm just looking at my watch because I don't want to. We have just 3 minutes left. Yes.
Chanting should be the constant in our life.
Yes. Constant chanting.
いつもチャンティングをすること。
In fact, the Shastra says, Nama Paradiktanam Naman Yeva Haramkyagam Agishani Prutani Tanye Varta Karanicha. And that is, if you're offensive in your chanting,
あなたがチャンティングしてるときオフェンスだったら、
the prescription is that you should chant constantly
そしたらチャンティングをいつもね、唱えてください。
because you can overcome all the offenses if you continue to chant.
そのチャンティングをいつも続けてたら、そのオフェンスがね、どんどん消えていきます。
There's only 2 offenses you can't overcome out of the 10 offenses.
10個のオフェンスの中で2つのことがね、それちょっと
For these 2, you have to suffer,
これはすごいね、苦しみますよ。
according to Vishwanath
ビシュナ
Chakravarti.
バラっていうタクがおっしゃいましたけど、
One is offending devotees,
一つはディボーティーにオフェンスすること。
and the other is sinning on the strength of chanting. Committing sin on the strength of chanting.
ね、チャンティングのね、力に応じて、それによってね、オフェンスしてしまうこと。
Those Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur said you should be very afraid of.
これはちょっとね、皆さんね、気をつけてください。
All the other ones you can overcome by continuously
あ
chanting.
とのオフェンスはね、もうチャンティングを続けたら、ちょっとどっかね、行ってしまうようになり
Of
ま
course,
す。
even with those, it's recommended that you continue chanting, but you still have to suffer.
それでもまあね、苦しまなきゃいけないですけど。
So we've talked in the last couple of days about how failure is the pillar to success.
だから失敗は成功のもとということをいっぱい言いました。
About how our attitude will determine how fast we advance in devotional service.
だからね、態度をほら変えることによって、どれだけアドバンスしていくか。
We've discussed some various attitudes that one could develop.
すごいね、態度についてね、発展することを話しましたね。
And some attitudes that one could give up.
まあ、ある態度は、ちょっと、ギブアップするとか。
We've heard about a few practical lessons.
まあ、たくさんのね、レッスンをしました。
We took quotes from the secular world and compared them to the lessons of bhakti.
バクティとのね、教えを、比べました。
And so we can take this and apply it in our lives.
私たちはなんとか人生を
And never feel discouraged.
生きてね、落ち込まない。
Shri Shri Radha Govinda Ji ki jai. Shri Shri Nitai Gaur Sundar ki jai. Jai Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Ji ki jai. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Srila Prabhupada ki. So I have a few gifts, a few parting gifts.
はい、私今日はゲストがいます。お土産があります。お土産がありますよ。プレゼント。皆さんお土産です。プレゼントですよ。
Nobody wants one?
皆さん欲しくないですかって。ほら、子供たちもほら、先に。あら、飴もありますよ。ジャパニーズ
Yes.
日本語できるの？
こう見えて日本人です。
日本人なの？どこの人なの？
僕間違えま
See if you can read what's on the band.
何語喋るのか。
And then translate it for us.
すいません、紛らわしく。
いや、あったのがもらいに行ってください。
She's going to tell you what's on the band.
バンドに何書いてあるか。
Read it out loud for everybody.
みんなに大きい声で。
Jive doya Krishna nam sarva dharma sa.
And now tell the meaning.
意味を言ってください。
Trying to find a larger one. I had some two sizes, but now I can't find a big one. Maybe too big. It's okay if I'm too small. Is that right? Thank you. Actually, what does it mean? What is Jive Doya? What does Jive Doya mean?
Compassion to living beings.
Good. Okay, Jive Doy Krishna Nam.
In the name of Krishna.
Yes, Sarva Dharma. What's Dharma? Yeah. So, of all religion, the highest, Jive Doi Krishna Nam, what it's saying is the religion of real Dharma is showing compassion to all living entities by giving them the holy names. So here in Tokyo, we have a very dense population. A lot of people live here. Not that they're dense, they're very intelligent. So we have a great opportunity to distribute the holy names here.
聖なる皆をね、唱えるのね、広めるのにすごいたくさんのね、機会がありますよ。
And one of the best ways to do that is through the distribution of transcendental literature.
まあ、すごいね、精神的な本を配ることが最高の、恩恵があることです。
Because human beings like books.
まあ、生命体っていうのは本のようです。
And books last for many, many years.
まあ、本はね、永遠にね、続いて残りますね。
Books are containers.
本はコンテナーです。
And they hold spiritual idea seeds.
まあ、すべてのね、アイディアを、先進的なアイディアが見れます。
And when you put them out to the world, those seeds spill out.
その種を見ると、種が出ていきます。
And they change the world.
世界が変わります。
So it's important to take some time to go out and give Krishna conscious literature to the people of the world.
本を配りにね、行くといいですよ。
All the great acharyas
すべてのね、偉大な
contributed literature.
アチャラが本を配っています。
Do you have a copy of Brahma Samhita
ブラ
here?
マサミットのコピーありますか？
Hold it up and look at the picture on the cover.
まあ、そのカバーをね、見てみてください。
There should be a picture of Lord Hare Krishna. Should be a picture of Lord Brahma on the
ロード
cover.
ブラマのね、本にほら、ロードブラマの写真が載ってます。
I want Arush, find that picture.
その絵を見てみてください。
Did you find it? Bring it over here, Arush.
まだまだ。
Let's look at the picture.
まだもらってない。
In this picture, you see that there are books coming out, emanating from his mouth when he's speaking.
口からね、その知識が。
And in the other picture of Lord Brahma that we have, you'll see it in one of his hands, he's holding a book,
他のね、ブラマの。
which is rather curious because it's at the beginning of the creation. There's no printing shops at that time.
ちょうどの時にはね、何も印刷屋がなかったからですね。
But
本が出てきて
it represents the fact that we are called the sampradaya of the book,
サンプラダイヤの本と言います。
which means that our particular duty is to distribute transcendental knowledge to the world.
私たちの基本的なデューティーね、やることは精神的な本を配るということです。
Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said
バックナント大変タクが言ってます。
the Madanga can be heard for a few blocks,
ブリダンガはね、この辺しか聞こえないけど、
but the book or
本
the
の
printing press
本は
is it can be heard all over the world.
もう世界中にね、響き渡ります。
So this is called a Madanga,
これがブリダンガって言うんですけど
and he、called the printing press the Brihat Madanga.
これはブリハムリダンガっていう印刷屋です。
And he urged his disciple, Abhay Charanaravinda, who later became the great world acharya, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, to print books whenever he got money and distribute them.
エーシバクタントサンプラバでは、もうね、何でもお金が得たら本を印刷するように使いました。
So Tokyo is an ideal place to distribute books.
もう東京はね、もう最高にね、本を配るいい場所です。
And you'll be able to measure the result here
まあ、そこでね、結果を出すことが
because
できま
it's
す。
an enclosed area.
まあ、そういうね、インクルーズ、
And there's a finite number of people here.
何のピーク？
Finite.
ファイナイ。
A limited number of people.
たくさんのね、人がいます。
Just a few million. How many are there?
何人いますか？
Limited amount. How many people are
無
there?
限な人いますよね。
12 million
12 million only.
only.
こんだけできるですか？
That means we should distribute at least 12 million books.
まあ、少なくともね、そんだけ配りますでしょ
Now you may think that sounds like something impossible.
まあ、あなたはね、もう不可能だと思ってますけど、
But Srila Prabhupada coming to America sounded impossible too.
まあ、アメリカね、トランプだって不可能だと思ってアメリカ来たわけですよ。
And when one of our devotees at our temple came up to me one morning when I was chanting japa and said, I want to put Bhagavad Gitas in all the motels in America.
まあ、あるリボートがね、チャンティングしてた時に来てね、私はこのアメリカ中のね、モーテルにね、バーテギータを着たいって言ったんですよ。
Of course, it didn't sound impossible.
ちょっと不可能じゃないのって思っちゃった。
But now, a few years later, he's placed 500,000.
でも、ね、あとで、だったらもう、たくさんの人
And the reason is because he had a desire and he set a goal.
だから彼はデザイア、望みがあってそこに行ったからそうなったの。
So, for advancement, for
自
purification,
分の浄化するとか、純粋になるには、
make a goal for distributing books,
それは本をね、配ることをすることです。
even if it's one book.
まあ、一つでもいいわけです。
Make a goal for yourself and go out and try it
自分でもうトライしてね、出て行って配る。
and do it for self-purification
自分の浄化のためにやってくだ
because
さい。
you'll definitely get purified.
そうすると、純粋化しない。
And your practice of devotional service will become very solid.
そうすると、あなたの献身奉仕がね、すごい一定化します。
My humble request, distribute books
私の、ね、謙虚な望みで本を配ってください。
and give out lots of prasadam
もうたくさんのね、プラサードを配ってください。
and chant the holy names in public as much as possible.
もうたくさんのね、本をね、チャンティングをしてください。
The other evening before we went to one of the home programs,
ホームプログラムね、この前、今晩行きま
I
し
was waiting outside
た。ちょっと外で待ってた
for
ら、
Ananta Garanga Prabhu to come pick us up.
アナンタグラムクラブでピックアップしてくれて、
And Rasa, who's an excellent kirtaniya,
ラーサさんがすごいエクセレントでね、キューバしてく
he
れて、
joined me in front of the door there.
そこのね、ドアでね、一緒に
So we already had our madungas and kartals,
ウ
so
ナンガとカラタ、
we decided to have a little kirtan.
そこでちょっとキュータしようかな。
We did it very quietly
ちょっと静かにやってたんですよ。
because this neighborhood's so quiet you could hear a pin drop.
ピンドラップ。
So we're just very quietly
小
having
さい
kirtan.
声で歌ってた。
And it felt so good for people to be hearing the holy name.
なんかね、人々がね、ホーリーネーム聞いてくれるのいい感じになってきちゃって。
And about a third of the people noticed it, and some of them went like
まあ
that.
ね、ある人は聞いたら、あってお辞儀したりね、してきた。
We were just there 10 minutes, but we felt so satisfied.
すごい、10分ぐらいしかしてないのに、すごいもう満足感得られてました。
This city was actually made for Sankirtan.
だからこの街はね、本当にサンキータのためにあるものです。
There's no other purpose for it.
もう何の目的もないですよ。
Everything's set up in rows.
もう全部ね、ロードもちゃんとなってるし、
People are concentrated in one area.
一つのところにね、人々集中して聞こえるし。
You know, I was with one of my disciples, Prema Niketana Prabhu. He lives in Delhi.
そのね、デリから来たその自分のリサイクル
He
が、
drives me to and from Vrindavan back to Delhi.
ブリンダーバンからね、デリに行って、運転してくれた。
And I said, wow, there's so many people in the
た
city
く
of
さんの
Delhi.
人がいるね、この街は。
I said, why do they live in these, so close together?
どうやってこんなにね、近いうちにみんなね、住んでるでしょうか
He
ね。
said the living entities like to live close together so they can exploit each other.
生命体はなんか近いところに住んでたら、エクスパイルするって。
Which is true from the material side.
まあ、物質面ではそれね、本当のことですけど、
But from our perspective,
でも私らの考え
Lord Chaitanya's put them all in one place
まあ、ロジェテが一つのとこにみんな一緒ことにして、
so that we don't have to go very far. We just go from one house to the
まあ
next.
ね、そこに一つのとこにね、いてね、どこも遠いとこ行かなくていいじゃないですか。
And Prabhupada wrote in a poem before he came to America
アメリカにね、来る前にプラパの詩を書きました。
that people are sitting in their homes
まあ、人々が家に座ってて、
and they keep looking outside the window
まあ、窓からね、ちょっと外を見たら、
and they would like to know when are Nitai and Gaur going to come and save me.
見たいオーラがね、いつね、私を助けてくれるかな。
So if you wonder what people are doing inside their apartments and homes, they're looking out the window, waiting for you to come.
まあ、だからね、人々もそうやってね、私たちがいつ来てくれるかなって思ってるんですから、待ってるんですから。
And Srila Bhaktisiddhanta said, even when people don't take anything from you,
まあ、あなたからね、何にも人は取らないかもしれないけど、
or they don't even want to hear,
もう聞きたいとも思わないかもしれない、あなたが言ってることを。
he said, even then they see you
でも、それでもあなたを見てるわけだから、
and they think, oh, these are some religious people.
これはなんか宗教的な人かな。
And they become purified.
そうすることで、その人たちも浄化されるんです。
So it's an all auspicious
だから
activity.
すべて貴重な行いなんですよ。
And it's very important.
すごく重要なことです。
So please distribute books.
どうか本を配ってください。
Hare Krishna.
ハレクリシナ。
It's been a real pleasure being here. Even though it was a short trip, I felt like we did a lot.
まあすごいね、短い期間でしたけど、すごく私
We
ね、
went to 3 home programs and they were really exciting.
なんかたくさんね、プログラム連れてってくださってね、すごいエキサイティングでした。
And I met with several devotees and had really stimulating talks.
まあね、すごい、いくらかのディボティがすごいスティミュレート
We've had a few classes together, time
一
to
緒にね、
talk,
クラス
Krishna talk.
して聞いてくれて、
In the mornings here, we've had outrageously fun and ecstatic kirtans for the greeting of the deities.
グリーティングディートの時ね、すごいエキサイティングなね、聞いたりしました。
Sometimes there's only 4 devotees here, but
まあ
it's
4人
just
ぐらいしかいないんですけど、
Radha Govinda are the best deities.
ラダカミンダが一番のね、ディーティですね。
They're so sweet. You're so lucky.
あなたはすごいね、ラッキーですよって。
So be happy.
すごい幸せでいてください。
Go Premanande Haribo. Pancha Gopadubhishcha. Kripasinade Chastita Gonna miss y'all. And I'll see you, Krishna willing, in April.
まあ、4月にね、また会えると思いますよ。
Hare Krishna. We'll have a kids' kirtan when we come back next time. All the kids.
ね、皆さん、キュータンで子供たちがもっとね、踊れるのいいんじゃないですか。
Right?
そうです
Kids only.